Hello there, how's it going? This is my 23rd recording of the book Atomic Habits, and in this one, we will talk about chapter 12, the law of least effort. So, let's begin. On the tough days, it's crucial to have as many things working in your favor as possible so that you can overcome the challenges life naturally throws your way. The less friction you face, the easier it is for your stronger self to emerge. The idea behind make it easy is not to only do easy things, the idea is to make it as easy as possible in the moment to do things that pay off in the long run. Yeah, the idea about make it easy is not to do easy things, but to make it as easy as possible. And the law of least effort actually tells you how to remove friction, how to remove friction in your life. And we will see what it is. How to achieve more with less friction. Imagine you are holding a garden hose that is bent in the middle. Some water can flow through, but not very much. If you want to increase the rate at which water passes through the hose, you have two options. The first option is to crank up the valve and force more water out. The second option is to simply remove the bend in the hose and let water flow through naturally. Now, this is a very good example, but how do we actually apply this idea in our daily life? Yeah, you wouldn't want to force more water out of a bent pipe, but you would have to remove the band in the hose. And the idea is that, for example, you are working on your PC, it would be a good idea to organize your files and folders in your PC and also your physical desk. Clean up your physical desk. Those are areas of friction. Anything that takes away your energy, anything useless, you would want to remove it from your life. That's the idea. Where in your life can you remove the friction? Trying to pump up your motivation to stick with a hard habit is like trying to force water through a bent hose. You can do it, but it requires a lot of effort and increases the tension in your life. Meanwhile, making your habits simple and easy is like removing the band in the hose. Rather than trying to overcome the friction in your life, you reduce it. Yeah, he's talking about removing the friction in your life. I would also argue you can remove the friction in your habits. For example, you want to learn a new language. Some people will get all crazy and they will try so many things. They will download a bunch of apps, they will sign up into a bunch of programs online, they will subscribe a lot of YouTube channels, they will buy a bunch of books, they will gather all these resources, but in reality all they need to do is just spend 30 minutes a day on learning it. It would be better to just buy one book and stick with it for, let's say, 3 to 4 months than to try to consume so much information on the internet. I would say that's the friction. They voluntarily make their habit hard. Same goes with programming. People want to learn everything at the same time. That just makes the habit much harder. So yeah, it's not about just motivation, it's also inefficiently increasing your effort. One of the most effective ways to reduce the friction associated with your habits is to practice environment design. Well, yes, environment design. For example, when deciding where to practice a new habit, it is best to choose a place that is already along the path of your daily routine. Habits are easier to build when they fit into the flow of your life. You are more likely to go to the gym if it is on your way to work because stopping doesn't add much friction to your lifestyle. Now, that's a very simple example, of course, but you can apply this idea in almost every aspect of your life. Perhaps even more effective is reducing the friction within your home or office. Definitely, that's where you spend most of your time. Too often, we try to start habits in high friction environments. We try to follow a strict diet while we are out to dinner with friends. We try to write a book in a chaotic household. We try to concentrate while using a smartphone filled with distractions. It doesn't have to be this way. We can remove the points of friction that hold us back. Yeah, he's giving the example of smartphone. You are making your work harder by keeping your phone with yourself, for example. I like to refer to this strategy as addiction by subtraction. Very cool idea, addition by subtraction. So you remove bad things that make good things better. That's the idea. You remove a smartphone that will make your work easier. I like to refer to this strategy as addition by subtraction. When we remove the points of friction that sap our energy, our time and energy, we can achieve more with less friction. This is one reason tidying up can feel so good. We are simultaneously moving forward and lightening the cognitive load our environment places on us. Cognitive load. Yeah. So when you are in bad environment, it actually affects your mind. But when you're in a clean and tidy environment, it also feels light on the mind. So it's better to keep your house and especially your room clean. So so your mind so so it makes your mind lighter. If you look at the most habit forming products, you'll notice that one of the things these products and services do best is remove little bits of friction from your life. Meal delivery services reduce the friction of shopping for groceries, dating apps reduce the friction of making social introductions, ride sharing services reduce the friction of carrying across town, text messaging reduce the friction of sending a letter in the mail. These are some very good examples if you think about it. If you think about it, these are very good examples. The reason we use these apps because they do remove the unnecessary work, you can say. They have simplified a lot of things. Grocery shopping, you can get your month's worth of grocery shopping with just a click. Yeah, very powerful ideas. Successful companies design their products to automate, eliminate, or simplify as many steps as possible. They reduce the number of fields on each form, they pare down the number of clicks required to create an account. They deliver their products with easy to use directions or ask their customers to make fewer choices. Business is a never ending quest to deliver the same result in an easier fashion. Exactly. Exactly. Well, in the past chapter, which one was it? He talked about that rewards will become more concentrated. I think this one. The trend is for rewards to become more concentrated. Yeah, so not only they make it easier, but they also make it as fun as possible. So they do actually use the ideas from this book. Very, very, very useful. So let's go back to the book. Let's go back to where we were. The central idea is to create an environment where doing the right thing is as easy as possible. Much of the battle of building better habits come down to finding ways to reduce the friction associated with our good habits and increase the friction associated with our bad habits. Yeah, very good ideas. Also, you will have to do your homework and see what is the friction in your life and how you can reduce it. Yeah, you can clean up your environment first of all, and you can simplify your habits and see how you can eliminate the bad habits. I think that's how we reduce friction. Clean up the environment, simplify your good habits, and try to remove the bad habits. That's all the areas of friction. So I think we are gonna call it a day here, and then in the next video we will talk about prime the environment for future use. Hmm. Not my favorite section, but we'll talk about it in the next one. Thank you very much.